11 rounds of Swiss played. That's so intense amount of games being played. But these two duelists have managed to make it here. So on the red side, give it up for Johannes. Slogging his way through 1,700 other duelists, making his way to the semifinal. How do you feel now, man?
I'm kind of relieved. First YCS top, therefore first time in top 4, and it's nice, pretty good. Nothing left to lose.
Oh, pretty good. It's okay. Come on, your first time, man. All right, man, take a seat. And then from our left side, we have Antony. Come on in. Ooh. Oh, a lot less love for the boy Johannes. Okay. All right then, Johannes. Antony, how are you feeling?
A bit excited, a bit nervous, but I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
He's ready for you, man. All right, well, I'll take a seat. So both of these players are first time playing a YCS event, playing against 1,700 players. They probably did something right to get here. Playing their hearts out, outsmarting and outwitting their opponents. They've earned their spots here. So we're going to be deciding who goes first. Oh. Let's see. That is a 5 and a 4, 9. All right, let's go. 7. So who goes first? Okay, so Antony is going first. So the duelists are ready. The venue is ready. And you at home are ready? Let's give it over to the casters.
Thank you, JJ. We are ready as well. It is going to be such an intense
so
match.
ready.
Yes, it's the semi-finals of YCS Ghent. Give it up, guys.
Ooh, the crowd is already cheering.
I always wanted to do that.
Yeah. And we actually have two very, very good players.
Yeah.
They just seemed really, really calm and relieved, as Johannes said in this interview with
Anthony
Jonathan.
didn't seem too calm, to be honest,
Yeah,
but he is
true.
confident as well.
But he said, I just want to duel.
Yeah.
He's ready to do stuff. He's just ready to conquer the finals. And for both of them, obviously, that is the main aim now. You made it to the semi-finals. There's only one step to be done. So you want to be one of the finalists.
Indeed.
And only one of them can be.
There can only be one. Be only
True.
one.
Nearly nailed it. And both of them relying on the same deck to bring them there.
Yeah, the same strategy that we have predicted to be so good in this tournament,
Yes.
Lunalight Orcust.
It is. We seemed to see that is the best deck, and now it is both players playing it. Actually, in the other semi-final going on at the moment, none of them is playing it.
Yep.
So if you win this Lunalight mirror match, you don't have to face another one.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this match could really be crucial to actually make it to the finals. It is crucial to make it to the finals. It's just not couldn't be. And I cannot even wait for them to play anymore. So let's get over to that feature match table now. There we have them. And we already saw the die roll being performed. And to be fair, that could be a really big
That is
part
a
of the
really
match
big
outcome.
deal. I mean,
here.
we have seen one Lunalight mirror match already.
Yes.
That was Mirko Zanelli versus Matteo Bertolezzi.
True.
And the dice roll winner did not win the entire match.
That is true. And we see Antony's hand. He actually has a lot of Lunalight cards. You're not even playing that many, but he just opened a lot of them. He opened Kaleido Chick, he opened the Tiger, and he also opened the Emerald Bird. All of them being there to already go into the first Exceed play.
And there we go, it's the 4 Strix. I mean, he probably knows the matchup. He knows that he does not have to fear any kind of end traps. He does not have to fear the Nibiru.
Yeah.
He is just going for 4 Strix. The pluses are going to be made.
Yeah, and as we see, it is a mirror match, so why not already talk about the main deck list?
Yes, because we have seen something really interesting in Antony's list.
Exactly. if you already anticipated this deck to be one of the best decks of the tournament, you probably would have had to build your deck for the mirror match too, if you have to face it in like the semi-finals, as both of them just have to do. And how did Anthony approach that?
I mean, in the side deck, he's running a lot of cards like No Materia.
Okay.
But in the main deck, he actually does not have a floodgate-ish target for Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion, and following Nightmare Griffin.
That's really an interesting decision. On the other side, Johannes has Imperial Order ready for him to do work. I think he played quite a few Sky Striker decks in the tournament, and just activating this card in your first turn, then you're basically good to go with the Sky Striker most of the time, if they do not have Cosmic Cyclone or Twin Twister. So really an interesting decision by Anthony to not main deck any of these.
You can still use Crescendo after your combo on the Cyclone or Twin Twister, so you can protect your order even.
Yeah, that's true. And let's see Anthony already going into the combo. And look at that. By summoning Tornado Dragon here, that actually indicates us that he will be able to summon another rank 4 Exceed, because he definitely wants to go into Abyss Dweller in this matchup.
Yes, pretty much indeed. And he popped the Lunalight Tiger in his scale to special summon back
nice
a Collider
synergy there.
Yeah, and there we already are.
Oh, and there
Abyss
is
Dweller
the second
going
rank 4.
through 3 rank 4 exceeds in one turn in your first turn. This sounds like Lightsworn to me.
Yeah, in the pre-recorded footage we actually saw Tom Feargoods versus Thomas Rose in the finals, where he was playing the Lightsworn deck. That was a good deck back in the days. But I think the Lunalight Orcust actually is way more exploding than that. I mean, you have just the negate from the Crescendo as well, so your turn just looks perfect. And you have Dingirsu at the end too, ready to protect all of your cards. And I think that makes that Imperial Order to be set so much stronger even, because you have the chance to actually protect it with the Crescendo and also protect it with the Dingirsu you will be ending up with. So you just have all the protection effects for your Floodgate. And it just seems worthy to actually main deck this card.
Yeah, especially looking at his decklist, he's running triple Cosmic Cyclone. That seems like a card you could run 2 of.
Yeah.
But I mean, he probably has his reasons, and he has been right so far. He's in the semifinals of this YCS.
He made it right here.
Yeah, he won the dice. So Abyss Dweller and Tornado Dragon on the field will be followed up by a Crescendo. Or wasn't it?
Is it set yet? It's not.
Wasn't activated. So
I mean, it's still on the field, so you can still use it.
There it is. Okay, I didn't see the card. I was just thinking, why is there no back row on his side? But there is one.
That's one of the main differences we already worked out, that he's not main decking a Floodgate to be set by the Griffin. And another difference is that Johannes, preparing for that mirror match a lot, actually decided to main deck triple Komongos, the Sticky Kaiju.
Wow.
And that can really work out in his favor, I guess.
He hasn't drawn it just yet, but he is activating dangerous effects. On discarding the Yellow Martin is really good.
Yeah, it is. Did Anthony actually already activate the Abyss Dweller effect?
Yep.
He has, right? Okay, so he's not playing into the Kaiju there, but just tributing the Galatea or tributing the Dingirsu also will help break that board.
I mean, tributing the Galatea will turn off the counter trap.
Yeah.
But still, it's going to be hard to break that board through Duello, and the double protection of Dingirsu. Might actually consider to tribute away the Dingirsu if you draw it.
Yeah, I do agree. And I'm pretty sure that it's hard to actually OTK through that board, but if you just can somehow clear it, that would be a pretty good accomplishment for Johannes in this situation, and I think he would take it. He just looks at his danger draws, he cannot really change them, and he just thinks, okay, I will play out my opportunities as they come, and then hopefully be able to do something.
And there's another Tsushinoko being added to the hand, so I mean, he's going like full risk with these dangers, because as Dweller is active, the cards that get hit by the graveyard are there for some time, and they cannot be activated in the graveyard. So he's going to normal summon Skeleton.
He has
now.
Skeleton. That's obviously not the Orcust card you want to draw.
Yeah, but it still is an Orcust card, so you can kind of access the Galatea Dingirsu engine.
That's absolutely true. So there is the Galatea, as you talked about it. And look at Johannes. He's like, I cannot really do much more, so I just have to go into Galatea. So there is the Dingirsu. That forces out the counter trap by Antony.
And now he is quotation marks, free to go. He's free to do whatever he wants. He can assume that Antony does not have any kind of hand traps in his deck.
Oh, there's the next danger to be revealed. This time it's
I think he's gonna
Tsuchinoko.
hit it. He's gonna hit it.
Was it Tsuchinoko? No, yeah, it was
It's
Tsuchinoko,
Tsuchinoko.
right? Oh, and
Yeah.
this time you predicted that he hits
Wow.
it. This could be very hard for Johannes. And look,
And he
he's-
shakes his head.
he cannot do anything, but he
Yeah.
protects the Dweller with the
On that,
Dingisu.
now
And
we're going to game 2.
oh,
I mean, game 1 in combo matchups is never that
can be pretty one-sided, yeah.
hyper, you know? There's one guy to combo. After siding, those matchups get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because then it can be a 50-50. You might not even want to start. I mean,
I do think
kind
you
of
have
do.
to start in the
Yeah.
Lunalight mirror match at the moment, but you have some very powerful cards
Yeah.
coming back into the metagame basically, because Gnome Material was basically off the radar as soon as Nibiru was released, because it seems like, yeah, Nibiru is just better because you contribute the whole field and stop
Yeah.
them after they made their combo, so that's perfect. But Gnome Material, throwing it on Nyala, if your opponent is just trying to summon Azeroth, then he's stuck with that Nyala in the extra deck monster zone, and that really, really can hurt you, and you basically have to pass on that most of the time, because you cannot use that Nyala for anything.
and you can do that basically on every rank 4. Would you try to mind game here? Would you not even would you side in Nibiru's and then hope that your opponent tries to outplay you by not summoning Nyarla and Azathoth because he thinks that you're not going to side it anyway because it's a dead card sometimes?
Ooh, that would
Mind
require your opponent to really, really think a lot. So that's a big mind game, actually, because you really need to have your opponent thinking around a lot of corners. So there's like not only you having like a lot of stuff to do, also your opponent has to do a lot of stuff. So you're relying on a lot of factors there. So I guess that's really not the way to go. We actually can really see what Johannes is boarding there, right?
I saw him.
He has Nibiru's in his main deck. Only. Oh no, he's putting them out, right? Oh, there's his side deck. Looks like he's totally going first, meaning that Gnome Materials aren't coming in, and Kaijus are obviously being boarded out as well. No Twin Twisters, no Reboots. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. We have talked about Reboot a lot, by the way. That it wasn't the most popular card, but it seemed to have worked well for Johannes.
Yeah, it absolutely did work well. And as you said, they are coming in Nibiru's and Gnome Materials. What card do you play around first? Like, you have a route of play where you play around the Nibiru, where you first of all go into the Curious,
Yeah.
and that plays around Nibiru, but that heavily plays into the Gnome. So, I know, other way around,
Yeah.
you know, that played into Gnome, but you play around Nibiru the other way. So, what do you play around here?
I think basically, no material is not even that popular. I mean, it's a really popular choice for all the Lunalight
Yeah.
players because they expect to face Lunalight in the top cut.
That's true, that's true.
But you don't know if your opponent plays it necessarily. But you also do not know if he summons Nibiru during the game, if he sides it even. So I think I would rather play around no material if I see that my opponent is running the Lunalight in the top 4. Because it has been a popular choice in the Lunalight decks.
Yeah. So that would mean that Johannes would have to summon the Curious first. Now,
that's
finally
the first
declaring
card.
that.
That's the first card we can see in Antony's
Oh,
hand. No material Lancea.
and Lancea
But
as
he needs
well.
cards to play with. Don't forget that he needs
Sephiroth,
cards to
okay,
play
that's
with.
not really a card yet. Johannes decided to keep in the
Tanky,
Nibiru going first. Tanky will allow him to make some plays.
Oh.
But that fifth card's still relevant.
Another Lancea. I mean, that lets him survive for a turn.
I guess. But let's see. How can Johannes start it off? He's double Kaleido Chick, which is not really what you want to have either. But he wants to get rid of one of them with that Mothman here. You really want to hit a Kaleido Chick. What does he hit? He hits the Mothman
Wow.
itself. Oh no.
And now Anthony even gets the chance to recycle this one Lancea, which is kind of dead. Oh, the Zephyros, the elite. He can just
that's even
discard
better,
the
I guess.
Zephyros.
I guess you definitely discard the Sephiroth there. But still, by the effect of Mothman, you can get rid of
Or you
the
discard the
Kaleido Chick.
Harp Horror.
Harp
That
Horror makes sense as
really
well.
strong as well. That was a
You
more
even-
than decent draw.
You didn't have your turn yet, and you already have Harp Horror and Grave, so your resources are set for the next turn. That's pretty good.
Who needs Mermaid?
yeah, exactly. If you just have your opponent playing for you. Like Dark World dealing
Yeah.
style.
So only 3 cards left in Johannes' hand, and he has to go through no material and artifact Lancea
Yeah.
without having called by the Graven Hand.
And
that looks like a tough turn for him.
Okay, so looks like he used Tiger Effect to summon back the Yellow Marten. And he goes into the Exceed play first. So he really
and
wants
this
to...
is going to be answered by no material 100%.
Oh, it has to
Wow.
be. Yep, there is no
Wow.
material on Nyala, and that basically stops the play of Johannes.
And Nyarla, of course, still resolves. Switches
Yeah.
out the materials. And then Martin triggers and searches a card, which is really strong.
Cool, you have some resources for the next turn, but do you even get to that turn? That is the question here.
I mean, he still has Nibiru on his own.
That is right, yeah, that Nibiru could really save him. The decision of letting that Nibiru stay in his main deck could be the key factor
I
to
mean,
win
your
it here.
opponent, like, this is the mind games we were talking about. Your opponent won't expect the Nibiru if you're going first.
Yes, yes, definitely agreed. That is a good point. He summons out the Yellow Martin by bouncing the Tiger. Now Tiger can special summon back another monster. He just summons out a lot of monsters to actually get a defense, right?
Building up some defense, and now he can activate the Lunalight Kaleido Chick again, which leads to another cost.
Yeah, Johannes is doing a good job in just getting the resources ready for the next turn. Little does he know that that next turn will also be met by another Lancea.
Yep. Even 2 Lanceas, then he can't.
Yeah, definitely. Because the first
Banish
Lancea
anything twice.
might be thrown like soon. There comes the Lancea.
Yeah.
Johannes could actually chain the trap for that, but he doesn't bother doing so.
So Tanky is activated. And
Tanky
he's
searches out Tiger.
just
He has
trying
all
to,
the Lunalight cards now.
Yeah. This
That
is just a defense that he's trying to build up. Like, he's building a wall.
He definitely builds up a wall, but is that wall of furries actually good enough to withstand the attacks of Antony?
Just look at this.
He just summons all of the Lunalights. He has double Kaleido Chick, he has Yellow
He
Martin,
doesn't
he has
even need
Emerald.
extra deck monsters for this.
Oh man. It would be so cool if you could use all of that for something, but it's just a defense wall. No material really shining in this mirror match. And underlining the decision of both players to side deck this card, it really helps in the mirror match. And you really need it because that turn would have been just... That game would have been over basically for Antony if you wouldn't have had that no material. Because Nibiru would have been dead because that was before the 5th summon. You wanted to summon the other pot. So yeah, the no material was just the perfect answer. And Johannes actually being from Berlin, so I had the glory of watching him test a lot, and he was testing this deck for a while now, and it was crazy how he was thinking about every single extra deck slot. He was like, oh, I have 13 extra deck slots now, and I will be testing like 20 other cards which will be going in
They
there.
went XO in the 3v3 as well,
Yeah,
right?
it's like a nice story. 3 of them are playing like the same deck, worked on the deck for a while, all 3 Berlin guys, and they went 3-0 in the 3v3 on Friday, as you say, and now Johannes just did very well in the main event. The other 2 nearly top 2, and yeah, now it is Johannes' turn. He's the only one left of them, and he tries to make it happen for Berlin as well, right?
Let's just see if Antony plays around the Nibiru. We are going to see that just now.
That seems like it is the first Exceed summon, okay. You have to go into Nyala there, right?
I mean, do you?
Do you have enough resources to still push? You have Harpor and Graveyard, you have the Sephiroth.
No. And he's going for a Link monster.
Okay. What Link monster is the Link monster of choice here?
Phoenix?
And then probably just going for the Orcust cards, yep. And he only has Lancea left in hand, right? So he has to discard the Lancea.
So now
there
he's
it
really
is.
all in. He is all in.
Oh wow, that Nibiru can really hurt him now.
Yeah.
This could really turn out to be a favorable outcome for Johannes. I can see Johannes winning this game, actually. That Nibiru will hurt Antony so much. There comes the Tiger.
I mean, you don't know
it's getting
if he...
intense here. So he definitely is on tips on 5 summons now.
Does he even know if he wants to... when he should activate the Nibiru at best? I mean, do you just do it after everything? Yeah, right? There's no hard negate. He might go into Appaloosa. Does he play it, though?
That's a good question. You have his list.
No.
Yeah, it's really tough to actually fit an Appaloosa.
Yeah.
Like, the Berlin guys also considered it, but they really did not have space. That's also a card that plays around Gnome and Nibiru well, but you have other cards to play around with it too, so you really couldn't go the Appaloosa way.
So does he summon Force Tricks or does he summon Nyarla? Because on Nyarla summon...
Yeah, that will trigger it. Oh, he goes for Dweller.
That doesn't help him too much.
I guess the plan must be to OTK here at the moment, and Dweller definitely doesn't help a single bit.
I mean, Dweller is not the OTK card.
No, it's not. It's just forces your opponent to be unable to play next turn, which I mean could be good, but if Nibiru hits the field, that Dweller cannot do anything next turn. So, ooh, he's actually wasted the Dweller. So if that gets into a grind game, Antony will be out of his Dweller.
No.
And Johannes still has his Dweller in the extra deck. So Johannes really looking at the board, really waiting for the perfect moment to drop that Nibiru. And I already want to see the face of Antony when that Nibiru gets released. Oh. But the Nibiru will be big, right? The Nibiru token, it will have so many attack points.
Yeah, 100%.
But I guess Johannes will probably be summoning it in defense position. I would advise him to do so.
How easy can he get over the token? I mean, he can just easily go into Phoenix Mermaid.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he can Dingirsu it out, and that's going to be a bummer for him.
Absolutely. So, seems like they're kind of discussing something with the judge, but there was everything right, I guess. Yep, they seem to be happy with how everything turned out. Now they are, at least. And he's probably going into Boris Rod here, right?
I think this is Longirsu.
Is it Longirsu first? Yeah, right, that's a link free. Okay, Longirsu comes down. Still no need to actually pull off the Nibiru yet.
No, you just wait until your opponents use the skeleton.
Yeah, just use all your resources. Feel free to use all the resources you have. If there would be a Galatea that could search out something, maybe you would like to do it on that at some point, to not give your opponents a chance to set up the counter trap. But if you're tributing the monster anyway, so where's the point in using it then? Johannes there tried to blow over the Collider Chick to the opponent's side of the field. And Antony, maybe he realizes that his opponent is probably having Nibiru here, because Johannes still sitting there calmly, and by his body language, I think you can kind of tell that he's more than happy to actually still play on, and he does not look like, I'm losing at the moment. So that could be an indicator for the Nibiru.
I think he's trying to put on a poker face.
Yeah, he is trying, true. But on the other side, I think he looks pretty confident, or not? But I mean, he was looking confident from the first moment on. We saw him on the stream. He just came on.
He's just acting to be confident, even though he is confident. You know, he's
double mind game.
Yep.
The double mind game happening.
So Galatea is summoned.
Yeah, I've discussed that with Marcello earlier. When you're like actively counting the summons of your opponents, you can probably tell that your opponent does not have the Nibiru, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be like a super good double reverse poker face, because how cool must you be if you bluff the Nibiru and you really have it?
There we are, Nibiru the primal being.
Oh, that new gold sacrifice is coming down handy here. Oh boy, and he's already calculating how much attack points
Quick maths
are there for the token.
That's a lot. Let's try it. I really don't want to, but let's try it. No, let's not do it.
Absolutely fine. The Yellow Mountain has to be banished because it was summoned by Zone's effect. And there is the token. Nice YCS Judge token.
So harmless. It looks so harmless, but this token really packs a punch.
It is so big. So Antony, can you even do anything more this turn? Or is he just left with the token?
I think since he's used Galatea, there is no way that he can recover from this turn. It should also be like his Orcust engine that he's playing is relatively small.
Is it? What is he playing?
I mean, he's playing 2 Horror, 2 Nightmare.
Okay, okay. And only 1 skeleton, of course. You don't really want to up the number of skeletons.
It's going to be really hard to recover from that, as he only plays 1 Galatea and 1 Dingirsu. And 1 Longirsu.
Yeah, so that might be the rare case of a Lunalight Orcust player getting gnomed on the Nyala and still being able to win because they have the Nibiru on their own.
He still has Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher.
Yeah, but I mean, he still went through Mermaid already this turn, so if he would have his Orcust cards available, that would be pretty cool, but he already went through these, so that's not really a good place to be in still. Oh, and Johannes also having the Serenade Dance and the Perfume in Graveyard, so he has multiple effects he can trigger in the Graveyard there. But he actually already has all of his Lunalight cards on the field and in the Graveyard, so there's no real point of actually searching them or special summoning out from deck.
I can just choose what he wants to special summon because he has Double Tiger.
Yeah, right.
But they have the same scale, so he can't Pendulum summon. Oof. Why is that? That must be a misplay.
So what is he going for here first? Is he going for Tornado Dragon?
Force Tricks?
Oh yeah, Force Tricks, because he just wants more cards. That makes sense. There's Force Tricks.
He can search out Zephyros,
Yeah.
normal summon it, go into the Lunalight combo by bouncing the Tanky or the Tiger. And then he also has discards for Mermaid.
Yeah.
So that's really strong.
Sephiroth being the one card he couldn't search of the perfume, so nicely done by searching it out with 4 Strix. So now comes the Serenade Dance. Okay, he discards the Sephiroth, good way to get it into the graveyard immediately. And what are you specially summoning out there? Okay, this third Kaleido chick hits the field.
And Antony,
Nice.
all of a sudden, not looking too confident anymore.
He felt so great when dropping that Gnome, but now it looks really, really bad for him. Oh, Johannes can afford to actually discard Foolish Burial for his Mermaid. There comes the Orcust Nightmare. He is actually ready to pull off the Boral Sword this turn, but can he OTK through Gizmek, which can then be special summoned again this turn, and the token? That's kind of hard, right?
That seems to be hard, but he could just grind.
Yeah, I mean, the grind game favors him at the moment a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Antony has... Does he have a way to access his Orcust cards at all?
It doesn't look like it, especially if Johannes actually goes into Dweller, which could be the point here at some stage of the turn. And there already happened.
Oh, he
that
prevents
takes
him
out
from
the Gizmek.
activating Gizmek. Yes,
That prevents the
that's really
Gizmek.
true.
Nicely done there, Johannes. Nicely done. And there comes the Link Summon into Galatea. That also was a big discussion point between the Orcust Lunalight players in my region. Do you play double Galatea or do you only play one Galatea? Because if you go first, there really isn't a point of using 2 Galateas. You can just have the one and you're usually going to win with that. But from time to time it comes up that you have to summon the second one. And I saw it being changed pretty late by Johannes on the deck list. He made a 2 out of the 1 and he's now playing double Galatea in his extra deck.
So he preferred the resource game over the explosiveness of his deck.
That is actually true.
Very interesting.
Is Antony also playing double Galatea? No,
Nope.
he's only playing one.
Only
Yeah, there you
one.
can see it already.
Yep.
It's like a discussion point in the deck.
That's why I said he couldn't access his Orcust engine anymore, because
Yeah.
he just has 2 Orcusts in the deck that do not recycle anything from the banished pile.
Yeah. And looks like that's going to be Boral Sword, right? Oh no, still it is long. Oh yeah, it is Boral Sword.
Yeah.
And can he get rid of that super big token though?
I mean, he's gonna go
Oh,
for...
Dingisu, right? Dingisu
Yeah.
would just send away the token and then that's actually game there.
Yep. What a
Oh,
turnaround.
Johannes really having the favor of Nibiru and being able to OTK here. He's already nearly over the finish line to make it 1-1 to equal the score here.
And he just doesn't want to forget anything. He just checked his grave again. Now he's calculating.
And there is the attack. Oh, the Gizmek being in the graveyard. And these attacks will do it. Antony nodding his head. That is the 1-1. So
we're
round
going
of
into
applause
game
in the
3.
hall. We have a game 3 coming up for you guys. So what are the mind games now in this sideboarding? Is there a difference between this sideboarding and the last one? Probably there is, right?
Yeah, they will just completely turn it around.
Exactly.
And now Antony is going to be really aware of a Nibiru.
Oh, he will be. He definitely knows that this card is around. So he may be assuming that he has to play Nibiru more than Gnome, but
I don't think he is. I think that he is still going to respect the Gnome.
as you said, both being Lunalight players, and in the Lunalight player minds, it seems like this card really, really made their way into the sideboards. Yeah. And yeah, both of them maxing out on Gnome materials, so you should definitely play around the card.
Gnome material is just so crazy.
Still, like, Johannes has quite a few cards for the mirror match, because he's also playing Super Polymerization.
Yeah.
3 copies of that, 3 Nibirus, 3 Gnome materials. He already had triple Kumongus in his main deck already.
Yeah.
So actually he tried his best to maximize on his cards to draw in the mirror match, which can then secure him the win there.
I mean, it also really helps versus Sky Striker.
That is true. That is absolutely true, yeah. But there you already have your Nightmare Griffin setting your...
Yeah, I mean, going second.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. Going second, the Kaijus are really working out.
Still, this is going to be really intense. I mean, Johannes would have lost the last round if Antony just went for an Azathoth.
Yep.
There was no reason in really summoning the Dweller.
That is true. The Dweller was completely useless. And he could have just baited out the Nibiru, and then he would have had all of his Orcust plays left.
He could have just gone the safe route.
That kind of was a misconception by Antony there.
Yeah.
He just felt too safe with that Gnome on Nyala.
And
he already was in chill mode.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I'm going to do everything I can.
Yeah, and now it comes down to game 3. And Johannes being on the upswing now, winning that last game, maybe having a mental advantage actually, because he is on the uprising and Antony dropped that game, as we just discussed. He maybe made kind of a misplay because he didn't go into Nyala Azafot first. So that could be spooking around in his head still.
Sometimes players make mistake when they are really secure about winning.
Yeah.
As they already won the first game, they're like, yeah, I can drop this game. If I have to, I can drop this game.
Yeah, it is
and
true.
then they are willing to risk more. But this is not going to happen to him again. He is now going to focus 100%. This is the final match for the semi-finals of YCS Ghent. It is about getting to the finals. And it's going to start now.
Yeah. First YCS top, first finals would be a pretty good resume, I would say. Oh, and look at the starting hands. It comes down to that. We see Mothman, I think Kaleido... No, it was Yellow Martin. That's the first card that appears on the screen as well for Antony. And probably the hand of Johannes is even more interesting because we need to know whether he has any interruptions or kaijus. And look, he's nodding. Did that mean that, yep, I can do it, I can do it? Or did that just mean, yeah, you have my hand typed into the system there?
I think it's rather the last one. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, Antony starting with 2 Orcust monsters, which he probably happily discards here.
Yeah.
Like, hitting the Nightmare here would be pretty good for him. Yellow Martin also a very good discard.
Yeah,
Yep.
it gets rid of the
Yellow Martin, that's a good start.
Oh, there's Lancea in the hand.
Oh, yeah,
Johannes.
right. He has Lancea, and what does he have as well? Did he have additional interruptions? I didn't really see it yet.
Ah, there we have it. It is. Wait, do we have it though?
Yeah, it's not on the screen yet, but we have it on here.
But
Oh, there's no Lancea. Did you really see Lancea?
I'm pretty sure that I saw Lancea, but
Lancea could have maybe been Mothman too. Kind of similar artworks. But let's focus on the cards we see being played on the table there.
how? How are Lancea and Mothman similar?
Both kind of darkish, I guess.
Oh, and there we have it.
Okay.
Azafot.
Oh.
So
and so it's
probably
probably
no
no
Lancea.
Lancea.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Johannes cannot interrupt that at all. And Antony freely going into his combo there. Phoenix leaving the field, making plays for the Mermaid. Mermaid using its effect. Now he can discard the Serenade stance. Oh boy. Johannes, see him just going from left to right in his chair there. That's not really a comfortable position for him. He wanted to win this featured match so badly. Wanted to go into the finals. But still, as he said, he has nothing to lose at the moment. He's in the semi-finals of the YCS, in his first YCS top ever. So he's perfectly fine losing here too. But that game is not over yet.
I wouldn't say that anyone is fine losing this game. It's the semifinals, and you, of course, want the trophy.
Yes,
you want
of course.
to win this whole thing.
Yeah, you still have that in your mind, on your mind.
The title is so close. Just reach out and grab it.
Yeah, but now Antony does the same thing that Johannes was doing pretty well in the last turn. Recycling all the Lunalights, just bouncing, special summoning, bouncing. It's just so easy for Lunalights to actually get out multiple monsters very quickly. First damage to the life points being dealt by Sephiroth, so Antony down the life points now. And actually that is a factor from time to time, because this combo of the Lunalight Orcust deck can really take a while. So if you have a mirror match, and for example one of the players, I don't think one of the players is inexperienced here, but if one of the two players is inexperienced, then you can actually take a lot of time, maybe like 15 minutes for the whole combo, and then on both sides then you're already over the time limit, you know? And so time can become a factor here.
Yes, but that is not going to happen here. Antony is going through his deck.
Yeah, he's pretty
quick fashion.
Pretty quick with his combos, definitely. I mean, then the semi-finals, they've performed this combo a lot over the weekend already.
Yes.
So safe to assume they know what they're doing here. Yeah, but let's see Antony setting up the crescendo already. Cool. He actually decided to go for Tornado Dragon just because he can. He had the access to 2 rank 4 exceeds.
I mean, that's a pop on a tanky. It's good.
Yeah, definitely. It's just an additional interruption. You happily take it. I mean, the alternative would have been to just not have the Tornado Dragon.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you can just do more, why not doing more?
I mean, the alternative would be running Summon Limit and going Curious Griffin.
Yep, that's true.
But he decided not to, and the results are speaking for him, so he is going to end up on Crescendo Dweller and Tornado Dragon, which looks like a board that is really hard to out for Johannes.
Yeah, I do agree. What is your personal opinion on the order being set in the first turn in the mirror match? Do you think it's good?
Oh, what a bad top deck.
What did you draw? I just drew into
Crescendo.
Crescendo, right? Oh, that really isn't the card you want to see there. So Johannes now staring at his hand, trying to figure out a way to somehow break through that board. 4 monsters on the side of Antony. One of them already used its effect now, the Abyss Dweller.
Isn't it crazy how both of them all the time hard draw Zephyros?
I mean, Johannes actually searched for Zephyros last turn.
Really? Did you see Force Tricks?
Like last game, sorry, I mean last game, yeah.
Okay.
True. I mean, last turn for Johannes would be pretty hard to get to in this scenario. So he actually goes with Kaleido Chick first, and as always, Kaleido Chick triggers its effect as a cost, so you should probably not be negating the Kaleido Chick, because the only point of activating the effect of Kaleido Chick is to get that monster into the graveyard as a cost. So you're already done before even resolving the effect.
So
And then comes
Martin is special
Tiger.
summoned.
And I mean, you could have already prevented the Tiger special summoning the Yellow Martin when you would have gone for the Imperial autoplay. So I see that being a little better in that scenario. Although I think Imperial Auto is just such a powerful card all in all, right? Isn't it all around the best card in the game? Well, not the best card, one of the powerful cards in the game.
It is indeed crazy powerful. He could have Tornado Dragon the Tiger first.
Oh, but he goes for the Tiger King.
And you kind of have to Tornado Dragon out the tanky. Or you Tornado Dragon out the tanky.
You definitely have to. I mean, you can do it in response to the effect of Tiger King, right?
Yeah, sure. That, of course, works.
Yeah. I mean, Tiger King, in case you don't know, we can just bring it up to the screen because the card is already a little old. It has the effect to actually just negate all of the monster on the opponent's side of the field.
Yeah, and he does it. He Tornado Dragons it out. But now there is no Dingirsu protection, so you can just run over Galatea now.
Yeah, so that actually disables Antony from using his counter trap here. And maybe Johannes has a way to actually play through here. I'm kind of wishing for it, because that would make up for a good game here.
I mean, if he doesn't snipe all the dangers. Wow.
So 1 to 4. What is he hitting? He revealed Mothman.
Sephiroth.
He's discarding Sephiroth, so that's a pretty good discard on that one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can actually... Is there a way he goes into Bowl Sword here and just OTKs with everything? Without using Grave effects, because there's Abyss Dweller on the field?
I don't see it, but I'm still curious as to why he did not just attack with the Fire King, Tiger King.
Yeah,
just
you
to turn
really
off the
want to...
Crescendo.
Yeah, it's just safer to turn off the Crescendo, you're right. But that Mothman also can defeat Galatea in battle, right? Does it have 1,800?
Yeah, Galatea has 1/8 as well.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you can double kill, right?
Yeah.
So, okay,
But
you have
he's
one monster less on board.
Much rather attacking over the Dweller.
That's true. So he took out the Dweller. That's really important for the grind game if it starts to become one.
Can he turn on a... Can he summon a counter Dweller?
That would be very, very favorable for him, actually. So, really, Johannes taking his time here now, just considering all options he has. And the Tiger King already was like a super, super good start because it disabled the Dingirsu, which just is so powerful in this scenario. Do you go for the Phoenix now? Like going into your Orcust cards? I mean, okay, you cannot really use the Orcust effects on Grave.
But you can use Dingirsu.
Yeah. And I mean, you get the Galatea search as well. Okay, he does not have any targets in the deck because he hard drew the Crescendo. That's kind of unfortunate for him.
It's going to be hard to set up a counter Dweller.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do think so too.
If he hits the Crescendo, then it's possible.
But then you do have one negate less in your opponent's turn too. That's not too cool. Oh, he hits the Crescendo. Okay, so he has 2 monsters on board now. Like, adding up to the 1 Tiger King already being on the field. That is the link to using the Jackalope and the Tiger King.
That 50-50 was so important. That went over so quickly. That should have been like really epic with music.
Should have been an epic moment,
That was super important.
Now he can discard the Mothman for the Mermaid. And do you actually use Mothman in this situation? I mean, you're drawing one, discarding one, and your opponent can actually decide on what he wants to discard.
Dweller is active.
Yeah, you're right. So you probably don't use it. So he's putting up a show here. There is the
There's the
Dweller.
counter Dweller, and he's going to be able to summon his own Dingirsu to get rid of either the opponent's Dingirsu or the Tornado Dragon.
And I have a favorite to send there, actually. I guess he will be sending away the Dingirsu as he does.
But I mean, now he... No, wait, there's the Dweller. Anthony doesn't even have the Skeleton left, but look at how powerful Curious would have been.
Absolutely, yep. I totally agree. So he's drawing into Tsuchinoko, making him being able to have more monsters on the board when he's summoning dangers. And look at that. I mean, the time is kind of ticking down too, so Anthony really has to make a decision here. It's only 3 minutes 13 left, and he's down on life points at the moment.
But I mean, like, he can change that really quickly.
Yeah, he can just run over the Dweller. Okay, I do agree on that. But still, he has to make his moves. He's revealing the Tsuchinoko. There's Tsuchinoko and Nightmare in the hand. He obviously would like to special Tsuchinoko with its own effect, not with the Grave effect. Yep, okay,
wow.
That is the hit.
Draws another card.
Yep, what did he draw into there?
Oh, it's a Tiger.
Oh, it's Tiger, really? Oh, he activates Tiger. That's additional special summons.
All 4 scales are filled with the one
What
and
a
only
picture.
Lunalight Tiger, the single best pendulum card in the game right now.
You probably have to say so, yeah. Marvin Schmidt would probably disagree playing the Bjorn Demion deck, but... Oh,
he
Yellow
can
Martin.
even destroy his own Tiger with Tornado Dragon, so he can go into another monster. And now he can summon Boral Sword Dragon if he wants to. He has 4 monsters.
But, yeah, true, of course. His own Tiger can trigger. Oh, no, it's Abyss Dweller on the field.
No, it's in the extra deck. It's destroyed in the extra deck.
Oh, correct. So, that Yellow Martin now.
So
And that's a little confusing right there.
what
But
happens?
I guess judges and players will figure out what's happening there.
Can Dingirsu protect the other, his opponent's cards? What?
Apparently it can.
But he hasn't detached anything, right? No. So
No, he didn't. You're right. Maybe Tornado Dragon cannot actually destroy your own cards. Let's just quickly read over Tornado Dragon. Oh no, it's on the field, so he could have totally done that.
I mean, we have seen that a lot. So, and Johannes is indicating his opponent to hurry up a bit, because of course he does not want to lose this in time.
Yeah, and he actually just went into the Boral Sword Dragon. I mean, that secures him doing damage.
I mean, he can attack over the Dingirsu and then shrink his attack to deal 3k and then put the Dweller in defense and deal another 3k, and that's going to be hard to recover from.
Yep.
But he instead he decides to only take deal 3,000 damage instead. Which I'm not quite sure is the correct choice in this situation, because now it's less about grinding, because he had to put it in defense position now, he couldn't deal damage, and Dingirsu is still sitting there. So if he summons another monster, he can immediately go into a Dingirsu, send away the Boral Sword Dragon.
Oh, and look how he's rushing. Johannes really rushing through his deck. He knows he has a chance right here. He searches out Gizmek.
The crescendo in the
Oh
interface.
yeah, Gizmek, so cool that it's a machine. He can search it out with the crescendo. Now, it really is a factor of time. Look how quickly
Look
he
at these
gets his
hand
cards into the
motions.
banish pile. Still looking at them. Drawing a cut and draw phase. Nearly unimportant what it is, because he just needs to really quickly go into Galatea and then the Dingirsu maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he can just pop the Boral Sword Dragon. He turns it into defense position.
Okay,
But Johannes
okay.
doesn't really, he can just
Yeah, it was
switch
summoned in end phase, so you can just immediately turn it back into attack position. So how much damage? That's not enough damage yet. You have to get out more monsters to actually win this game, Johannes. So, it's getting close,
40 seconds.
He uses Nightmare, okay.
Nightmare pushes the Dingirsu.
Okay, that's more damage already, but you do need more monsters. Come on, you can do it. There he is. And
I'm not sure if pushing Dingirsu was the right choice.
okay, there is the skeleton. And as you say, he just links away the monster, he just pushes. That's not perfect. But still, that
do
will
it.
be Galatea, I
Quickly.
guess.
This is so intense.
There's Galatea. Now you can bring back the Dingirsu.
Oh, Tiger, and he can
Tiger
bring
as
Dingirsu.
well.
That's Boral Sword OTK. If he manages to do it in time.
He has to be in
quickly,
time,
quickly,
right.
Quickly, 15 seconds.
There is
14
the Boral
seconds,
Sword.
13
Now
seconds.
we have skeleton
12
in graveyard.
Seconds, 11 seconds.
Oh,
10
that is a
seconds.
heartbeat final here in the semi-finals.
And this is
he
the
announced
setup.
battle
Boral
phase.
Sword OTK. Johannes Urbicht makes it to the finals of YCS Ghent.
It has to be, Anthony checking the graveyard. There's
handshake.
nothing he can do, and he
What
is
a
celebrating.
game! My God!
That was a
Wow.
heartbeat finish.
I have chills all over. Wow.
We should definitely discuss that in the post-match
Yes.
analysis.
Wow.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Johannes really celebrating hard. That really was a pumped up moment. He is so happy to take that game
Sorry,
down.
headphone users, but wow, this just really had
He
to be loud.
really overcame the disadvantage of going
Indeed.
second in the
He
mirror match
broke
here.
the entire board.
That was so sick. It showed that a really good player
Wow.
can still win that Lunalight
Yeah.
mirror match, even though it is so heavily favored by
Yeah.
the die roll
Indeed.
winner.
And in the end, Antony got punished for his deck building. He decided not to play any good mirror match targets for Curious
True,
Griffin.
true.
And he also decided not to run an Appaloosa
Yes.
or a second Galatea that could have helped him in the second game
Yeah.
or in the third
So
game.
we talked about his side deck being well designed for the mirror match, but maybe his main deck
Yeah.
wasn't perfectly fitted for it.
Yes, indeed. And he was really, really
Yeah.
lacking this trap card
Yeah.
because with a summon limit on the field, honestly, there wouldn't have been much that Johannes could have done.
Not really, yeah. That would have probably turned him down, but he was able to just rush through everything, quickly put out that Bobble Sword, activating the skeleton effect, and then having the Bobble
in
Sword.
the last 4
game
seconds,
ready.
he managed to reduce the life points of his opponent to 0, and that was... He didn't even get ahead in life points to win in time. No, he won the entire game in the last few seconds. And that was a heartbeat final. My God. Okay.
We actually had Dinkabui being the Berlin player of the last season, and maybe it's the season of Johannes
Yes,
Urbicht.
maybe it is. Okay.
It is
So-
time for him, and I think he's ready for his interview with JJ. So let's hear the winner. Let's hear our first finals. Let's give it over to JJ and Johannes.
Johannes, crazy match, man. What the heck? Really? Like activating the skeleton, you were grinding that match out, man.
I just had to. Yeah. I'm relieved. It was, like I said, it was a real thriller. There was like, I don't know how many seconds on the clock. I had just had to do it. I knew I do not have to. I cannot pop the crescendo because he plays Gizmek. So I just had to. And I had to force him to play a bit because I saw it. I was doing my plays and I looked on the clock. It was like under 3 minutes. I was like, go, Joe, you have no options. Go, just go. It was like, real tough. And I had to take the risk with the Jackalope in hand. If it hits, I lose, but I have to. And then I have to maintain Dweller just to win. Just stick it on board and win. Maybe I should have summoned my monsters in defense position afterwards, but yeah, sure. It was it just made it just for the audience. It made it more entertaining and like more like yeah.
The audience loved you. They cheered you when you won. You're going to the finals. Your seat is waiting for you up there. Oh Christ! Like, do you have any idea what you want to do if you probably win this? Are you gonna try to go to the other YCSs and see, hey, you know, I won one, maybe go for the other one?
I don't want to jinx it. Like we'll see what happens. I already booked my flights to London and Milan, so I'll be there, sure. But yeah, I don't even know what I have to play in the final, so I'll see. I'll make the best out of it.
That's very mature way of thinking, man. I like that. It's a good way of thinking.
I have a prize card now. That's nice. It's the first one in Europe. Like it's cool. Like I said it before the feature, nothing left to lose, and I can only gain from this point on. So I'm fine.
Oh, that's cool, Johannes, man. So we'll be seeing you in a bit in the finals. Best of luck to you, man. Your opponent's gonna be waiting for you, and like, yeah, good luck. So, from me to you guys, this has been Johannes. Ready for the finals, ready to see if he could take this home, and we'll see you in a bit.